Hey guys, it's Elizabeth from Rosebarn Embroidery Designs. We are going to be doing our in the hoop tutorial for our clutch bag today. This bag, everyone, you all love it, so make sure you go ahead and grab the design. I will put the link in the comments below so you guys can just link to it as well if you guys wanted to purchase it. So today we're going to go ahead and go over the tutorial, how to cut your pieces, how to put them together, how to put them together on the embroidery machine. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free. You can drop a comment below. You can also comment in our group at facebook.com/groups/rosebarnembroiderydesigns. We are here to help. If you have any questions, you can also email us at rosebarnembroiderydesigns@gmail.com. You can even email us through the website as well on the contact us page. Let's go ahead and get started with the materials. Alright, so these are the materials you guys need. You guys can pick any fabric you want. There is unlimited fabrics. This is a regular cotton fabric and fleece for the little baby knit fleeces. For this bag in particular, this is called Custom CL, which stands for Cotton Lycra. And there is a hack for this, so you don't have to do two sheets or one big sheet. And I can do that in another video if you guys really would like, on how to do this one without having to do a full piece, so that way you're not wasting as much fabric. I like to do it this way because it makes it a little bit sturdier, but I can definitely show you guys with some of the CL. The CL is from Miss Mac Fabric. She does have a fabric group, and I absolutely love her fabric. So to get started, you're going to need your zipper. You're also going to want to get your keychain. You can use a D hoop, you can use lobster clasps, you can use pretty much anything you want. What I did for this is I did two 1 inch by 4 inches and sandwiched them together, serged the sides, flipped it inside out. This is going to be your outside lining piece. This is for, I am doing the 8 by 12 bag, so this one is going to be the 13 by 16. And what you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to fold them in half like a hamburger. This is what a hamburger style is. I'm just going to fold it in half. This is going to be your inside lining front piece. Your glitter, this is glitter canvas, so it is thinner than marine vinyl and it is more rough. You can hear that. But it's not like the marine vinyl. The marine vinyl has a coat on the top for the glitters. Like this one, it has that coat and it's a little bit more shinier. This is also marine vinyl with a little bit more of a shimmer. So it's smooth. This is glitter canvas, so it's a little bit more rough. And you're going to have your lining piece. These are the 9 by 12s, or 9 by 13, sorry, for the 8 by 12. You're just going to need one sheet. You don't need to fold these ones in half. Make sure you iron them. Your batting, if you choose to do batting, this is completely optional. I like the feel of my bags to be a little bit more stiff, or a little bit more thick, and so that's why I put batting. And then you're going to use your heat and bond, but this is going to be towards the end when you flip the bag inside out, or you can hand stitch. That is completely up to you. You can also sew stitch. You can use your sewing machine to stitch them clothes together. I've never done the sewing machine, so I don't know how it would turn out, but that is also an option for you guys as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started for our embroidery machine, and we'll get that going. Alright, so we're getting ready to run our first stitch. The first stitch is going to be your placement stitch for your zipper. Okay, I went ahead and turned off the light so that way it'll be easier for you guys. So after we do this step, this is the base step for your box. We're going to bring it back over to our area for working. Okay, so from here, you're going to go ahead and get your zipper. Now this is a preference. You can put your zipper this way for the zip to go this way, or you can put the zipper this way to go this way. Really depends. I do it this way for my daughter because she's left-handed. Right-handers, I tend to do it this way. But it's a preference. So that is completely up to you. So go ahead and you can line it in your box. Get your masking tape. I don't know where it would be without some of this stuff. And just go ahead and tape it. Okay, now we return it to our hoop. We're going to run the placement stitching for the zipper for it to get down. Now that our hoop is back in, we go ahead, we hit our run button, and it's going to run the tack down for the zipper. So if you see here, my stitching went over on the masking tape. Do not worry, do not freak out. Masking tape is super easy to remove from the stitches. It's like tearaway, so it's really nice. So the next, after this step, you're going to run your placement step for your front part of your bag. So now that we ran our placement stitch all the way around, we're going to go ahead and put our fabric in. This is going to be the first part of your fabric. And most of the time you can get away with putting it right in the hoop. I tend to put it right up to the zipper, so that way it's right there on top of the zipper. Next, we're going to run the first placement stitch for the bag. We're going to run the tack down for this part. Alright, so next we're going to start the applique process for the front of the clutch. We're going to go ahead and run the first stitch, which is the placement stitch. Okay, so we ran our placement stitch for the applique. We're going to go ahead and now add our marine. This is where you would add your marine vinyl. You can do another fabric, you can do glitter canvas. I'm choosing to do glitter canvas for this one just because I think it looks really pretty with this fabric. You're going to line it up. Now that this is done, we're going to go ahead and cut it. You are going to cut a line here and a line here and through here. You want to leave this section completely as is. The reason why, because if you cut this and you try and match it up with this, there is a potential later on when you're using the bag, it's going to rip up and start coming up, and then all your hard work goes to waste. So let's go ahead and cut that. Alright, so we're going to cut our bag. These are my favorite applique scissors, they're flat. A good trick too, if you're doing marine vinyl and you want to make this as fast as possible, you can get a seam ripper, heat it up with your lighter, and just run it right through. As long as it's hot, it'll go right through. Pretty fun trick. I did that a lot with headbands when I would do marine vinyl on top of marine vinyl. It saved my life. All right, let's put it back on the hoop. We're going to run our satin stitch. Now once you reach this point, you're actually going to be running, you're going to be putting your backing on. The easiest way to put your backing on is the same way you did the front, but you can spray it on the back. That is completely up to you, or you can also use masking tape. I use masking tape because sometimes working with the spray, it gets everywhere. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our back on. You're going to line it up right here with your stitches from the top part of the bag. I will go ahead and just go up just a little bit. Tape. And tape. I like to press, make sure I got it in good. And then I go ahead and I take it to my hoop. And then we go ahead, we run the stitch for the inside lining. So from here, what we're going to do is we're actually going to open our zipper. Because if we don't at this point, our zipper is going to get closed. I always do 3/4 to a halfway. It is that easy. You can do it in the hoop, guys. The other nice thing too, if you want to, you can also poke a hole right here. So that way it's easier for you to cut out, or you can go ahead and take this off the hoop, do that and cut your hole. If you're using tearaway stabilizer, you can just rip that part out and you guys are fine. But I use cutaway. I like cutaway better. So I tend to not put holes in them, and I wait until I flip them and then I cut it out myself. Now the next one is for your ribbon or your lanyard. You're going to go ahead and run the base stitch. If any of you guys have this machine, you guys don't know how to work it, if you guys want to do a tutorial on that, you can also let me know. I am more than happy to do a tutorial. I've had this guy for almost 2 years and she's my baby. Another thing too, when you guys are dealing with zippers, make sure you get the nylon zippers. If you guys get metal zippers with the metal teeth, it will not be happy with your machine. Your machine will be very upset with you. So next you're going to go ahead, you're going to tape. Told you tape will be your friend. Tape it in. It's okay if it doesn't take up the whole length right here, because it is going to run another all-around placement stitch when it goes to stitch. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of kitty corner this a little bit, so when it runs the final stitching, it doesn't get stuck and it doesn't, your needle doesn't get bent out of shape. You guys are almost done. Your next one is you're going to take your backing fabric. You're going to flip it upside down. Now, if you're using a print, you're going to put print right side facing the print. So if your print was going down like this and you see the characters going like this, you're going to basically do the same thing with the print. You're going to put it right side down and you're going to face it in the same direction as the front of your bag. So now you're going to go ahead. You are going to put your fabric down. Some people like to put their fabric down first and then their batting. So that is definitely a preference. Normally, I actually spray my fabric to my batting just to give it a little bit of a better hold. I'm not going to do that today. So we're just going to float it in the hoop, hit our next run, and go. Alright, so you're going to do the exact same thing with the back. You're going to put your back liner in and you're going to do right sides together. So your printed fabrics are going to be facing together like a sandwich. We're going to go ahead and do that really quick. So again, you're going to have your hoop. You're going to take your fabric. This one, there really is no right side, so it's not as needed. But when you're having right side fabric, when you have right side fabric, so you're going to put your print so it's facing this way. And then you're going to take this one and you're going to put your print facing that way. Go ahead and line it up. Another tip when you're doing these bags, make sure your stabilizer is as tight as you can get it. I did a couple when I first started learning how to do bags, when I was doing embroidery, when I was buying designs. And I learned very quickly that if my stabilizer was not tight, my bag fell apart pretty fast and the steps got all wonky. So definitely make sure your stabilizer is tight. And again, if you're using cutaway or if you're using tearaway, it is completely up to you which one you use. I like to use cutaway, and I use 2 layers of cutaway. Now, my machine before the one I have now, it only liked 1 layer of cutaway. This machine for some reason likes 2. I can sometimes get away with just doing 1, but it likes 2. So now what you're going to do, you're going to go ahead. Your zipper is your way of knowing which way to put your hoop in. We're going to put this back in the hoop. All right, we're back in the hoop. We're on our last step, guys. This is so easy. All right, so now we're going to take it to our cutting mat. What's next? Take it out of the hoop. This is probably the best part of doing a zipper bag, is seeing your finished product. Those are so fun to do. All right. Right here. All right. So the first thing you're gonna do now, because you have your finished project, you're gonna cut it. I always cut notches right here. And also get your favorite fabric scissors. If you guys don't have a favorite pair of fabric scissors or you don't have fabric scissors. All right, so now we're gonna cut around. You don't wanna cut your stitches because then, oh no. But if you accidentally do and you're at this stage, it's super easy. Just take it to your sewing machine, run a couple stitches, you're saved. All right, so now we're gonna flip our bag inside out. Maybe intimidating, but it's not. It's pretty easy. I like to stick my hand in there and I'll grab the tip. And I'll just kind of roll my bag out. Because sometimes if you're too forceful with these, you'll rip some of the stitches. But again, it's not that big of a deal if you rip some of them, because you can just heat and bond it and no one's really looking at the inside of your bag going, oh my God, how did you do that? So now that you got your bag, pretty much, I get my dowel. It helps. Helps me get the corners cornered. Another thing too is if you use marine vinyl or glitter canvas or pretty much any other material, you don't want to iron it directly on. You want to make sure you have a piece of cotton or something, or flip it upside down, or flip it up. Yeah, flip it upside down. That way you don't melt it, because your iron will melt it. Now at this stage, I am going to actually find my zipper that I have open. This is where you're going to cut it. This is where I said you can poke a hole, but you saw how easy that was. You just get your scissors. Now this is also a preference part. You can cut all of this out, or you can leave it. Personally for me, I leave it, because most of the time my bags are for me, my daughter, my husband. But if you're making it for a gift, or you're going to sell them, I recommend cutting them all out, because sometimes clients will see that and they'll be like, oh, what's that? So that's pretty easy. So now you're at the point, you're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna cut these so it's not super bulky. Flip it in. And at this stage, this is completely up to you. You can heat and bond this. You can leave it alone if it's just for you and you won't care. You can hand sew it. Now I just do a ladder stitch. Or you can take your sewing machine and just go doo 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 doo. No one's gonna see it. So at this point, that is completely up to you guys. I personally like to use heat and bond, and there's a reason for it. Heat and bond is, I don't want to say it's like the lazy way out, but what you do is it's two-sided. You got your smooth side. You'll see, I don't know if you can see, that's a little shiny. And you see a paper side. This is the paper. You're gonna be ripping this off. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna iron this on in my bag. I'm gonna actually stick it in my bag. All right, once you guys iron it on, you're gonna go ahead. You're gonna kind of sneak your hand in there. Let it cool for a moment, because it is really, really hot. You're just gonna, it's really hot. going to take it out. You're going to take it back to the iron. You're going to press it again. That way it adheres to both sides. All right, now you're done with ironing it or doing your stitch, sewing machine, however you guys wanted to close it up. You're going to go ahead, stick your finger in your bag, unzip it all the way. This is the fun part. You're going to flip your bag all the way inside out. And there you have it. The in the hoop clutch zipper bag. Super easy, super fun. Alright guys, I hope you saw how easy that was. Very easy, and that took me less than an hour to do one bag. So, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Go ahead, if you like to see more, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We will be doing more tutorials in the near future. So join the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/rosebarnembroiderydesigns, and we can definitely put up a poll for what tutorial you guys want to see next. Until then, happy stitching!